Welcome back. Day 2 with Kate and Adventure Bound Fitness and Nutrition. Day 2 of your Nutrition and Gut Health Challenge. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most important yet often forgotten nutrients out there. Water, if you got the hint already. So yesterday you got hopefully all prepped or gonna get to finish that up soon. And today you should be following the portion control guide for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, having the little, hand-sized snacks every day of this challenge. Again, this method of eating is simple in and of itself, but I know it's not always easy. Sometimes it does feel a little restrictive. But we are building that foundation for you to move forward to create a more flexible plan down the road. And I do also want to remind you that some people are going to need to eat more than what's on that. So if you're training more, trying to put on muscle, just sometimes larger people, taller, heavier weight, more muscle mass, you might need to double up some of those serving sizes or protein. So just be mindful, listen to your body. The goal is not ever to feel hungry during this program. I don't ever want you to feel like you're not getting enough fuel. You should never feel deprived. You may have cravings. I have a lot of people who get like sort of the mindless munchies, or they miss sugar a little bit, but that's different. You should not feel hungry or like you're starving. So make sure you eat. So hydration, it's actually a great segue into that because one way to help moderate hunger levels is ensuring you are properly hydrated. So let's talk about that. We're going to talk about why. You can kind of see the list here. Then we're also going to hit how much should you aim for and what counts as water or hydrating fluids. So real quick here, just to kind of go through this. Water helps you feel more satisfied, like hunger satiety. So try to get 2 cups before each meal. If you are struggling with digestion already, you notice more bloat and indigestion or anything like that, then I encourage you to get those 2 cups at least 30 minutes before your meal. If cases where there's already a struggle, the dilution of your stomach acid could add to even more feelings of bloat. Otherwise, you should be okay having water with your food. So that said, water helps with bowel health in other ways, such as preventing constipation. You absolutely need to poop. It is one way your body gets rid of toxic byproducts. So a quick example, if your body can't flush, quote, kind of like used up hormones, such as like thyroid hormones, once your body's used them for what they need, that garbage, so to speak, that those byproducts get backed up and you need to poop them out. But if you don't, and we get this backlog, that can be one reason the pituitary or the thyroid starts to slow down its production of other hormones and can lead to a sluggish thyroid. I had one woman I was working with she lost her period and also was struggling with severe constipation, like 20 days in a row sometimes where she wouldn't go to the bathroom. Once we figured that out and she got regular, period came back. She just needed to be able to flush those hormones and actually absorb some nutrients. So yes. And then 3, water helps flush your system in general. So like I mentioned in the video yesterday, you are cutting out large swaths of food that are inflammatory, sugar, alcohol, processed foods, and so on. Now, while everyone has some level of additional specific food sensitivities that caused inflammation, those are the big ones, and that builds your starting point. So as you reduce inflammation and your toxic burden of junk food, your body starts to heal and it needs to excrete or release those byproducts. So water and fiber help flush that out to try to help you feel a little bit less of that detox flu, where sometimes if your body's releasing the toxins, but you can't pee it out or poop it out fast enough, that can add to that feeling of nausea and headaches. So watch out for that. That detox may be around day 3 for some people. So keep up on your water. 4, water is important for joint lubrication and cartilage health. Cartilage is 80% water, so long-term dehydration can lead to a lack of cushioning and increased joint pain. 5, water helps with blood flow, which also means better carrying of oxygen and nutrients around to the body cells and your tissues. 6, this also helps keep your blood pressure lower. 7, dehydration drops workout performance. And 8, it can help boost skin health. So there's plenty of other good reasons, but I think that should be a good enough set to get you gulping. How much do you need? This can be a controversial topic, and we can dive into the different sides of what you really need if you want to on like an accountability call or anything. And as with anything, there are exceptions to the protocols, but usually what I do as a tried and true starting point is simply start with half your body weight as pounds in ounces of water as a minimum. So for example, someone who weighs 160 pounds, half of 160 is 80. So you want 80 ounces of water. There's roughly 8 ounces per actual measuring cup. So that's like 10 cups of water per day. Remember, this is a minimum. If you work out, you need more during that time. If you are in a hot or dry climate, you probably need more. If you are on certain medications, you may need more. If you are shifting your diet and this releasing toxins and inflammatory agents, you may need more. But use that as a starting guide to get you in the ballpark. You can rely on thirst somewhat if you trust that you understand your thirst signals, but a lot of us don't really know how to understand our bodies anymore. And a lot of times if people are thirsty, they think they're hungry and they go eat. So if you feel like you've got the munchies or something, go drink those 2 cups of water. Now, I would love to see everyone start the morning off first thing with 2 cups of water, keep it at the bedside or get it first thing. Bonus points if you squeeze half a lemon in it. It's helpful for your gallbladder and other wonderful benefits. Fresh, not little bottles. You lose some of the enzymes and nutrients if you do the bottles. It's not only hydrating, but it can help stimulate your liver and gallbladder, which also aids in overall health and digestion. You can also look a little bit at your urine color and odor. It should be pale in color with no strong odors. Of course, there are exceptions to that as well. Certain vitamins, I think people are familiar with that classic like neon yellow. That's from your B vitamins. It's not a bad thing if you've got a high quality multi. Certain medications will change the color. Beets are going to make it a little pink, and so on. Certain things can change the odor as well, like coffee and asparagus can change the odor. So yes, there are exceptions to that rule, but in general, it can be a simple tool to help you gauge hydration. That is the why and the how much. So what counts? Water, of course, is the gold standard. So drink up on water. Now, there is controversy on coffee as to whether or not it's such a diuretic that it should or should not count. So for the purpose of this challenge, I say no. You can still drink your coffee in moderation. That's fine. Try to cut back if you have more than 2 cups a day, but don't count it towards your fluid intake. Tea, I consider all plain tea to be counted towards your fluid. So that can be green, white, black, rooibos, herbal, all of that's fine. We just want to be mindful of any, don't add cream and sugar to it, those kind of things. A little bit of honey is okay. Kombucha is something a lot of people have enjoyed in these challenges. While there's technically sugar in it, it's usually in small amounts. So it's okay for this because the benefits of the good bacteria in kombucha outweigh the little sugar. But I do recommend double checking that label to see how much sugar they used and what kind. The ones that are using natural fruit for the sugar is going to be better than anything using like cane sugar, for example, and only do maybe 8 to 16 ounces worth of that. Broths. Oh, I didn't list that on there. So broths, side note, high quality bone broths do count. You can enjoy soups if you make soups with bone broth, or even just enjoy a mug of it as a midday calming treat. And then milk substitutes. These are tricky to find something that I would approve of for the purpose of this strict challenge due to the added ingredients. There's often stuff like guar gums and thickeners and sugars and quote natural flavors, which we don't actually know what that means. A lot of times there's a lot of loopholes to that ingredient list. So there are a couple brands that I do like, such as Malk, M-A-L-K. Basically, you want to look at the ingredient list. If it says like almonds, water, and sea salt, or almonds, water, sea salt, and vanilla, like that's it, then that's okay. Or cashews if you don't want almonds, or flax, or oats, whatever kind of milk substitute you like. You just don't want those sugars, thickeners, carrageenan, and all of that. So as possible, use those preferred types of milk substitutes. And then yes, you can count them towards your fluid intake. We don't count, again, the coffee is kind of minimized, and then avoid all alcohol, juice, soda pop, energy drinks during this challenge. So keep up the water. If you jumped right into the food plan, then tomorrow technically is day 3. So be mindful. Day 3 can be when those detox symptoms start. So keep up on the water. If you've been peeing more than normal, be sure to utilize a little extra table salt or get that Elite concentrate that was linked yesterday. We want to minimize the fatigue, headaches, and more that can occur. And that will, and that's going to be really helpful if you can keep up on the water and the sodium. And while we're hitting that, let's get into that. So that segues us nicely into hydration. How much do you need for athletes? What is that little bit of extra that you need? Again, we're not going to get into the nuance like this many ounces with this percent carbs per 15 minutes of this activity, but as a general point, first and foremost, if you work out 90 minutes or less, you probably don't need the sports drink. Please put down the vitamin water, put down the Gatorade. Water is fine. Most people are not going to need to worry about sports drinks or gels if they are working out for less than 90 minutes with, yes, I'm sure there's some exceptions like super high humid heat where you are a heavy sweater and you're losing a lot. But in general, if you're hopping at the gym, getting on the treadmill or getting on an elliptical for 30, 60 minutes, water is going to be fine. Just use food as fuel, around the rest of your day. Now, if you are doing 90 minutes or more, that is where we may want to get into some of these other things. So coconut water is a great electrolyte replacer. It's got some sugar, it's got some sodium, it's got some other things in it. Or you could try just making your own by diluting honey and sea salt in water, or get the Elite if you want all of the different elements of the electrolytes. That's a good way to replenish glycogen and sodium. And yeah, that honey, it's a more natural sugar replacement than cane sugar or added sugar or table sugars. And often sports drinks, they just have a lot of added colors, chemical sweeteners, and things that are not beneficial for your health. And the amounts in there, they were made originally, the Gatorade was named for the Florida Gators. They were dealing with these football teams out in the heat, wearing all that gear for multiple hours a day, needing to replenish more than just water. That's when they were kind of going, hey, it's not just about drinking water. We have to get the sodium and other things in there. So again, they have their benefits, but if we can, one, make sure we actually need it. Otherwise, you're just getting extra salt and carbs and calories you don't need. Or two, we can do a more natural form. That's going to be even better. I have had some people, they weigh themselves before and after a workout, and then whatever that weight loss is, you replenish that with your water. There are so many variables that affect the needs and the status. So proper timing and implementation of different hydration and rehydration strategies throughout various training seasons, training styles, the weather, the workout types, mid-season, post-season, training season. It's all really important to fine-tune individually. And again, that can get into those deeper specific percentages and concentrations, single sugars versus monosaccharides and disaccharides, before, during, and after. And that all is covered in that other deeper training on athletic nutrition. So check that out at the time of this recording. That course is still in the works, but it will dive much deeper into this and every topic that we cover here. So wrapping that up, water has many benefits. Get at least half your body weight as ounces of hydrating beverage. Avoid the sugary beverages, including sports drinks. You likely do not need sports drinks if you are not training for more than 90 minutes. If you're 90 minutes or less, water should suffice. And then make sure you get the Elite if you would like a more natural electrolyte replacement option. So today's action steps: half your body weight in ounces of water if there's no medical need to limit. Aim for 2 cups in the morning and consider squeezing in half a lemon. And then accountability task: share a picture of your favorite mug, bottle, or other healthy beverage in the Facebook group and put hashtag 7DC. If you have any questions, just post them in the group. So stay strong, stay empowered, strive to thrive, and we will talk soon.